Election Yard here to preview the 7th District special election in Arizona with the finest sleeveless political commentary on YouTube in this city, in this particular building. The seasons might be changing in the US, but I'm indoors, so I'm fine. I'm not going to get cold. Don't worry about me. So there was a special election a few weeks ago in Virginia in the 11th District. That's Northern Virginia. We thought that the Democrats were going to walk that one home, and they did. So this one, the Arizona 7th District special election, this is another chance for them to do the same thing. We will get into the particulars of this district and this race, but the important thing for you to know is that this special election is on Tuesday, September 23rd. So first, before we get into it, let's take a look at the current standings of the U.S. House of Representatives. There are 219 Republicans, 213 Democrats, and 3 vacancies. This is one of the 3. As far as the other 2 vacancies, they're evenly split between Republican and Democrat. The special election a couple of weeks ago in Virginia, that was won by the Democrat James Walkinshaw. He was seated the following day, so he is in that 213. As for the other 2 special elections after this one, those won't be for another few months yet. So a Democratic win here, if it happens, it would narrow the House majority for the Republicans further. Mike Johnson can only afford so many defections at this point as it is, and if the Democrats win, it'll narrow that and make his job a little bit harder. So as for how we got here, needing a special election in the 7th District of Arizona, this district was represented by Raul Grijalva. He is a Democrat. He was first elected to Congress back in 2002 under a previous version of this district. His last re-election campaign was in 2024. He had announced right before that election that 2024 would be his last. And unfortunately for him, he passed away in March 2025 due to lung cancer. So this seat has been vacant since March. So now let's show you the 7th District. We'll put up a map on the screen here. The seat is based out of southern Arizona. It scoops up almost the entire border between Arizona and Mexico. And then it takes a few twists and turns to navigate through different areas. It's part of Yuma County, including parts of Yuma, the city itself. Most of Pima County, including parts of Tucson. All of Santa Cruz County on the border. A small part of Cochise County, a little bit of Pinal County, which is generally pretty red, but maybe not so much the parts that he represented, and then parts of Maricopa County. As for how Grijalva did here in 2024, the answer is well. He got 63.45% in the November election, while Republican Daniel Gutierrez got 36.55%. So we'll get to some of the other details here in a minute. Before that, these are the candidates. So Arizona had primaries in both the GOP race and the Democratic race back in July. These were the results. In the Democratic primary, the winner was Adelita Grijalva, and if the last name seems familiar, that's no coincidence. She was running in her father's old seat. Grijalva was a local politician until recently in Pima County. There was a competitive Democratic primary here. There were numerous candidates, and some endorsements were going other ways. But even though it was a competitive primary with multiple candidates in it, Grijalva still won in a landslide anyway. She got about 61% of the vote against 4 other candidates, so a pretty good showing for her. On the GOP side, the winner was a name that you just saw, Daniel Gutierrez, who also ran against the elder Grijalva in 2024 and lost. He also got about 61% in his primary back in July. So there were also numerous write-in candidates. I went on the Arizona Secretary of State website before coming on here. I counted 10. There's also a Green Party candidate, Eduardo Quintana. So for the full listing of candidates, if you're interested to find out, you can see that at the Arizona Secretary of State website, which we will also link to at electionyard.com after this is over. So let's paint a picture of the 7th District. We told you who's running. We told you who was here before. So let's paint a picture of the actual makeup of the 7th District of Arizona. So first, this district is blue. You might have expected that. Grijalva only had one kind of tough race in 2010 under different boundary lines. Kamala Harris won this district by 22 points back in November, so less than a year ago. So if you were to think that this is not exactly fertile ground for the Republicans, you would probably be right. In terms of demographic makeup, the 7th District is about 60% Hispanic. So it's definitely a majority minority district. So when we previewed the Virginia 11th District special election a couple of weeks ago, one of the things we pointed out about that district was that it was also heavily Democratic, but it was one of the wealthiest congressional districts in the United States. Even though this district votes very similarly to it in terms of vote percentage, economically, it's not as prosperous. It's on the lower end of household income out of the 435 congressional districts. It's not one of the poorest, but it's far from where the 11th District of Virginia was. In terms of issues, what the candidates are talking about on the campaign trail, you can imagine with the fact that this district is on the southern border, literally running much of the length of Arizona's southern border with Mexico. Immigration has been a big topic of discussion. So if you go onto Adelita Grijalva's website and you look at her issues page, literally the first bullet point is, and I'm going to read a quote from it, ending the wasteful border militarization that divides communities. So you know what her stance on the current immigration situation is. But then if you turn to the Republican candidate, Daniel Gutierrez, per interviews that he has given that you can find online, he said he wants the border wall that Donald Trump has talked about to be built, but he doesn't want militarization on the border. In terms of other issues, you could probably surmise that economic factors have been an issue here in the 7th District of Arizona. Cost of living has been problematic basically everywhere in the United States, whether it's a blue district or a red one. So that's come up too. Let's break this race down in its most basic terms, because I know that you want to know the answer to this question: who is going to win? The answer is most likely Grijalva. She's running to succeed her father here. He represented this area for a long time, over 20 years. And the Democrats in recent times, especially in special elections that we've seen over the course of the year across the United States, the Democrats seem a little bit more motivated to get out and vote in these right now than Republicans do. So even I think on a modest turnout, this district is still blue enough at its core to deliver her a victory. That's even just putting aside the family connection and her own work in local politics. I think a generic Democrat would be winning this race comfortably as well. It really would be surprising if Grijalva were to not do well, let alone lose this race. That would just be a massive upset. Being the daughter of the late congressman who has her own political background, it's almost like she's a quasi-incumbent in this race. So all of this to say she's probably going to do well, but we will see in the special election on Tuesday, September 23rd. And for more on U.S. politics and elections, electionyard.com, like and subscribe. Follow us on social media.